Christian, what did you think of Quake?
I loved it.
Mwah. This game's old, right? When did this game come out? Like 90?
96.
96? Okay. I don't think you could expect a shooter from 96 to be anything more than what Quake is.
Totally. This game came out the same year as Duke Nukem 3D.
No.
Yes.
That's crazy to think about.
Isn't it?
I always imagine Duke Nukem coming out in like 91 and people are like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's like a pool table. This is like a video game, Christian. You can sit down and play this if you
Yes.
so choose.
Yes. First-person shooting action.
Yes. But it has so much style to it.
It does.
It has so much confidence in itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's...
Lightning struck, Tucker. And they
galvanized.
captured it in a bottle.
Ooh.
And they got 9 Inch Nails.
Oh, it's so
Made it
good.
happen.
I don't even like 9 Inch Nails that much, but this soundtrack is perfect.
That opening theme is just phenomenal.
Wow, and it's
Very, very good.
it's so subdued, sort of,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of like,
Yes.
and then it kind of builds and builds, and it just matches the atmosphere so good. And the game from 1996 can have atmosphere. It can be this crazy gothic, like Lovecraftian nights, but also Space Marine Nightmare World stuff. Ooh, it's good.
It is. And that tone, that atmosphere still holds up very well today, which
Yes.
I was very surprised by.
Walk me through this, Christian. What do I do in Quake?
You run, you shoot various things,
Okay.
you pick up new weapons to shoot at the things,
Okay.
and then you get to the exit of each stage and move on to the next one. That's what this game is, Tucker. It's shooting crap and watching blood fly out and blowing it up.
Oh, it's so good. It's so frantic. It's so... You always feel like you're in control.
Yeah, it feels so good. The movement,
Yeah.
it's slippery, but it's extremely responsive in a way that's very satisfying to play around with. Feels good to whip around those corners and pop a few shots, man.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes. It feels good, like circle strafing. Like it always feels good. Especially with like the nail gun where it's kind of like the bullets kind of curve. How are you feeling about the weapon variety?
Weapon variety, I do like it.
Okay.
The shotgun is basically your pistol. That's like your first gun, like your pea shooter.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It doesn't have a big punch to it, but it's fine in the early moments.
Yeah.
It's weird how much range that thing has, though. It's weird
Yeah.
kind of getting a grasp of the fire rate and the range on the weapons, because they don't really work the way that first-person shooters do these days.
Is that a good thing? I mean, we're talking no reloading.
Yeah.
Gun in the middle of the screen.
Yes.
It's just like a button you press to make things die. It doesn't even really feel like a gun.
Exactly. There's something weird about that, like the gun in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
That got me in a weird way.
Like in a good way? Like
Yes.
Okay.
Where I'm like, okay, yes, this is what I like. I like this. I like all this screen real estate on the left and right hand side. I can see it all. I do really like the weapon variety, though. It's got a good amount of push and pull. They've got pluses, they've got minuses. You got the rocket launcher that can pack a punch, but you don't want to get too close to things. And in this corridor-filled first-person shooter, you got to be very careful with that powerful rocket launcher.
I really appreciate that the grenade launcher is so useful, but it also is kind of the weapon that you feel the worst. Or it's like so hard to predict sometimes.
Yeah.
It's the one where I feel like there's a skill ceiling where you can get really good with it. I like that a lot.
Totally. Yeah. And you got zombies that can only die with explosives.
And it feels good to do so, because they're always in
Heck yeah.
groups.
Their giblets go everywhere, man. When did we as a society move away from bodies staying behind in maps?
It's kind of cool.
It is.
It's
I like
useful.
that.
Yeah.
Very useful, yes, especially when you don't have a map.
Right. Speaking of which, these enemies are so good. How are we feeling?
I also like them a lot. I'm totally fine
Yeah.
with the enemy variety that they had on display in this, 2-hour first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine.
They all feel like cogs in a machine that create these really exciting firefights where you've got the guys who jump at you, and they suck, but you can kind of work around them, but it's harder to work around them if you also have guys shoot projectiles at you. Oh, it just fits together so well.
And you got the lightning shooty, hairless, naked mole rat dudes.
The, what are they called? Shamblers?
Yes, and those are like the mini-boss guys.
Hate them. Even worse than that guy, though, is those stupid, spindly, spider-looking dudes who shoot the homing thing at them.
Yep.
At least until you figure out kind of how to work around that, but ooh. Those guys and the Shamblers are startling when they show up, because they're like, okay, this just became a different game. This is not fun time anymore. This is no time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was interesting throughout the course of my playthrough seeing how my conception of the game kind of shifted, because the first few levels I was just kind of blowing stuff away, feeling good. And then slowly over the course of things I started feeling more and more in danger.
Okay.
And then by the time I reached the end, every button I pushed, every corner I turned was just full of apprehension.
Yeah.
And I had never knew what was going to lie around that next turn, but I had to be ready for anything.
Right.
And I felt powerful dealing with those dudes, man.
Yeah.
Because I could get stuff done.
Right. My one qualm maybe is with some of the level design towards the end, I guess, where it becomes very maze-like.
Yes.
Which is not even as bad as I was expecting, but just kind of like it's not as much fun kind of working your way through these corridors that look the same to figure out where the key is.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I have only flirted with Doom because of that maze-like level structure. And I understand that it was that way for Doom because they were working with 2 dimensions and that was it. So they had to flesh out the level somehow. But here, they've got all 3 dimensions to work with, and they do.
Yeah.
And they don't feel like mazes, for the first 3 quarters. And then they start verging into maze territory, and you start having to find keys in these levels, which is not what I look for in these types of games. But still really neat levels, though. Very cool designs and cool ideas that are sprinkled throughout there.
I don't know. It made me kind of resent Half-Life, I feel like, because Half-Life was like, hey, these should be places. But Quake is like, these are not places. These are anti-places. These are fun, like, obstacle course video game level that you get to play through with, like, booby traps and secret passages, and it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to be tied to a fiction or... Yes, it's good.
The game's a jerk.
Yeah.
A lot like Sonic the Hedgehog is. But this game, it makes sense. This isn't a cutesy platformer for kids. This is a game where you're meant to persevere amid all of these demons and weird medieval men that spray out magic at you.
Right.
In order to get the runes and kill Lady. Evil Lady.
Yeah, yes. Big shout out. Quad damage is a lot of fun to get and just go crazy. There's points towards the end of the game where it's just like 4 power-ups stacked on top of each other. There's this invincible killing machine just like blowing people up with your nail gun.
Yes.
Any other Quake thoughts, Christian? Any other?
Feels good. I could play Quake again immediately right now.
Yes. I think I would put this at the top of this list, Christian.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Yes? I'm here for it, Tucker. I'm here for it. Yes.
Has the king been dethroned? Is this happening? 2020?
We gotta kick it off strong, Tucker. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting Quake to be this good. But holy crap.